We're recording now. Welcome, 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 y'all, to the second installment of our holiday roundtables. Last week, the quote-unquote grown folks, Gen Xers, for Gen Homewreckers, they had their episode last week.
Wasn't it Shady Pines something?
The Shady Pines hopefuls.
Hopefuls.
Yep.
Shady Lane.
Shady
Right?
Lane. Yeah, they were shady.
Those beautiful seniors.
Yes. We love. For those that have, daddy issues like I do, they come in handy.
Right?
Yeah,
Everyone loves
totally.
their grannies.
Oh, yes. of
Sometimes they get handsy.
course. True.
Facts.
Oh, and I didn't mention, that I found this bag in the closet.
You did. It was, and
Yeah,
it was a diaper bag, but
Well, no, they're not diapers. I'm sorry. Let me correct you. Don't be insulting. They're Depends. Okay.
My mistake, my
It's
mistake.
a bag of 8 Depends, and there were 4 seniors yesterday, and so it's halfway empty. So I can understand. I don't think they could have actually gone
see that
the
many of them,
whole hour and 30 minutes without.
right? And with them all having to take bathroom breaks at the same time,
There's
that
one bathroom for 4 bitches. I mean,
Yep.
it can get catty.
yeah,
Just saying.
This is
Fair
very
enough.
Disrespectful. Okay,
Oh, I'm
at
so
least
sorry.
they wore it to make sure that they didn't soil themselves. Okay, have some respect.
True.
Have some.
Well,
I
know other
I don't
people
know
that
that I don't know that the depend keeps the soil off of you.
No, it keeps it
They didn't
out
soil their
of-
Use it
clothes.
off your pants.
They definitely they may have, and we don't know for sure that they soiled
Right.
themselves.
And we're not
Just
throwing
a
shit. We're
safeguard,
not
for
talking
sure.
bad about them. We're
We don't
just,
wanna-
we
yeah.
want to give them love and acknowledge them.
Yeah,
So, hey, we have not done introductions.
we haven't.
OMG.
So this is me, obviously, Pinky,
Yes, hello.
leading the kitty table this week.
Quote unquote.
And then I have my bestest and the most fabulous friend, Marcus.
Love you. Hi.
He's so tall. He's like 7'4".
Yeah, like if you want to climb him, it's just the best thing ever.
You got to be this tall to ride this ride.
Ooh.
I am
Yeah.
that tall.
I have one of those, but it goes like this.
And I
Like-
can climb shit.
And you guys know that voice. That is the vivacious and scrappy,
Ooh,
almost we
scrappy.
might call Carlos Villegas.
Can I be just chubbylicious?
Well, girl, you
Yeah.
can't help that.
No, I know.
That's a
I
given.
just am. But anyways, hola a todos. Muchos besitos. Los quiero mucho. Buenas noches.
Yay.
See you, mamacita.
So we are now. We split it up into. We're gonna have 3 episodes, and we're gonna bring everyone back together for our 3rd episode, closer to the end of the month, actually airing on
for
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
So, but for now, we've split it up as many Americans do from the grown-up tables to the kiddie tables, and that kind of evenly separates us into 2 groups: the Gen Xers and
Right.
us, the Millennials. See, and I have a kind of an issue with that because I don't really identify as a millennial. I don't feel
Me either.
because that whole thing,
We're the
the
first
millennial
batch.
thing, right?
We were Gen
It's a
Y.
very clear difference between like the first halfers and the second halfers,
Like, we know how to work hard.
right? And I will say that
No,
The-
no shade to the real
originally
millennial.
they were known as Gen Y, and then
Yes.
this pop culture kind of fad happened,
in.
and they started calling them millennials. But
But hey, we're one of the most influential generations, us and baby boomers.
I think we're the greatest generation.
with
I mean,
Kanye, how
push-
could we not be?
I know. Oh my God,
He's
he
not a
was here at the
millennial.
Lakewood Church.
How dare you? Kanye is not a millennial.
Oh my God, my 2
goodness.
favorite people, Kanye
Lord have
West
mercy.
and
Now,
Joel
Kylie
Austin.
is a millennial, but he isn't.
Kylie.
I hope they don't get together for the next hurricane here in Houston because we'll be fucked if we.
It's okay. They didn't open their
Depend on
doors
them.
for anyone then either.
No, I know.
I'm sorry.
Oh, by the way, thank you, Mattress Mac, for opening the doors for us.
yes.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Is it his birthday today?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, that you and Max must
Yeah,
be
we're
close.
besties.
So we're gonna do it a little bit more traditionally, and we're gonna kind of like split it up into the meal, kind of how we get together with the family and see how it goes.
Okay.
I'm so bad at this, and you guys know, like, I'm debilitatingly shy, and this is actually like super hard for me to lead this episode. So I'm just gonna be completely honest about that.
You're doing a great job.
No, you are. And it's funny that you say that because I don't think I've ever noticed the fact that you're shy.
Oh my
And
goodness.
even if you say shy, I'll probably think you're a liar.
And I
because
never
you're like
noticed
the-
that he's never led in a show.
Yeah, he doesn't. But he has a very
I never
bubbly
noticed that.
personality.
Yeah, I have, and it's
He's
just
very
something about that
sociable.
jump that I can't do. I've like stage fright, like no other. I'm sure it's coming through, but hopefully we're gonna get around
No,
all
I don't
that.
think it's well, at least not in. I don't think our listeners will be able to
Right.
hear that. We can see a little hesitation. At least I am.
Right,
But,
yeah.
That's kind of normal. I mean, I would be also a little shy to just leak something, or know that
Right.
that's under my belt, my responsibility.
You
But
guys
you're
are
doing great.
probably noticing a little bit of difference, hopefully in the sound, because we are actually coming to you in true millennial fashion.
Using
We get the new
equipment.
shit. We have got our new official Too Legit to Quit
The new
podcasting.
Podcast,
I
yeah.
love that. We're gonna have to record that as a
Make sure you
a
check out our
soundbite.
pictures after the podcast. We're actually going to put the pictures out there of all three of us.
all
with
of our social
equipment.
media. For sure, for sure.
And if this
Sure.
bitch uploads the picture of me eating, we're gonna fight. Just letting y'all know.
Okay.
There was some eating happening, and as
Just
if you're
since-
gay and you're listening to this, you know
Yeah.
that it's bad form.
Now,
There-
I just
there are
have to
no-
say something, Marcus.
Pictures being
Um,
taken during meals.
Since you and I are gonna fight, I like getting choked every now and then. So
Oh,
I
God.
just want to let you know that. Thank you.
Right? It's like when you see that smile on his face when you got him in a headlock,
Like, yeah.
he starts humping your leg. You'll know why.
Oh my God.
I'll have to tap him.
But yeah, we got new mics, we got headphones, and we're gonna start messing with sound effects and
Maybe in the future, receiving calls from our
Phone-
audience.
right
Right?
phone sex
Ooh.
interviews.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Hey, Daddy.
I mean, maybe
That would be so interesting.
it would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Like, where are you calling from? I'm calling from Thailand, and I just wanted to say that
Uh-oh.
he is hot. So what would you say?
Speaking of phone calls, and this is, I just got a missed call, and it looks like Pops is checking in.
OMG.
Everybody
So
hide the weed.
right,
Hide it.
right. We don't want him to know that we took his weed. Put it back where we got it from. So let me
It was under the Depends.
see.
Yeah,
Is it like the contents of your adult diaper bag?
true. Just in case he doesn't.
It's like that's not a breast pump. Okay, so right now. I am going to put this Bluetooth dealio up here and see if we can't get
So
Pop-
bear with
Papa
us because
Joel
we
on
are
the phone here.
actually, testing this new system.
Yeah.
So you'll get firsthand.
And I knew he was going to
First
throw a
try.
curveball. It's just like those Gen Xers to throw, like, trip us, and then be like, see, they can't even do it.
Right.
We're
was
gonna
like-
show them.
What's a shovel?
Right.
Lord have mercy, what's a shovel?
Well,
Is
thank
it that
God you
thing
know
that you
what's a
pat the
shovel.
ground
Because I sure
with?
don't.
Yes, right after you're done putting the casket in it.
Oh, okay.
Lord have mercy. We love you. But we're not throwing shade. We're just...
We're acknowledging.
If you don't
it.
pay enough attention to the Gen Xers, they start whining
Oh.
about how they've been forgotten.
Well, they are the forgotten generation. Most people only talk about boomers and millennials.
Yeah.
I'm very quick to bring up the Gen Xers because they're the ones who are responsible for all of these.
For our fucked up.
I was going to say these
Well,
millennials.
Well, we have to give them credit because, to a certain extent, the reason why we're a little spoiled is because they had it hard and they wanted to make sure
I feel like
that
the boomers had it
we
hard.
would not get it as hard as them.
But what if we want to get it as hard as them?
Well, I know they just forgot their lube. That's what it was.
Oh, fair enough.
So, but yeah,
Right.
I mean, the
Sili-
boomers-
silicone lube had not been invented yet.
No,
So they just got it a little bit more
and saliva doesn't do the trick for them. So,
frictiony,
ew.
right?
Yes, friction.
A little phlegm, I mean, it really, honestly,
It really
goes a
works.
long way
It does.
as far
She
as
gets
that's
the job
concerned.
done.
Okay, so I think I'm connected to the Bluetooth. So,
Okay, so
Lord
call,
have mercy.
Call Daddy.
Whoa. Lord have mercy.
Daddy.
Okay, so I think. Oh.
Oh.
Look at that.
This.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
Is this
Hey,
Daddy?
what's up?
We missed a call from this number.
Who is
Oh, this
calling?
is
New phone. Who dis?
It's Joel. You know who this is?
Oh, Joel.
We
Joel.
are on the air.
You
Say hello
are-
to the
you are-
audience.
Who gave
On
you
the
our-
air.
Who gave you our number?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad that you guys I can hear you guys so perfectly.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have microphones.
I know.
Did you go back to work? Are you out there at Shepherd in Richmond?
Yes, I'm back at work on the corner of Shepherd and Richmond.
Good, good,
yes.
good, good.
Mhm.
I was going to say the pantry was looking a little light.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Make
trying to
sure.
earn some
Oh, by the
bucks.
way, the defense
Mhm.
bag is halfway empty. Make sure you get your next batch.
Okay, you know what?
Ooh.
All right,
Alrighty.
bitch, don't have me come over there.
Bye,
I won't
Daddy.
come over there.
Okay,
Don't
Boomer.
spank me, please. I don't want to be spanked, Daddy.
Okay, you know what?
He's lying. Everything about that he
Mhm.
barely made it through with a straight face.
I sure
Uh-huh.
did. I was just laughing.
How far are you guys into the show?
11 minutes.
Yes.
11 minutes left?
No.
No. 11 minutes in.
In.
You're only 11 minutes in?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just that,
Oh,
you know,
shit.
It's,
He's about to yell at us.
Oh my
You know
god.
what?
Just like
okay. All I'm going to say is, well, I'm dealing with millennials, so y'all do y'all thing.
Oh, and we will.
And we will.
Okay.
We're glad that you've got mic system worthy of our talent.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep. Because in
Yeah,
true
but-
millennial fashion, we had to also spend quite a bit of time making
Just-
posed selfies.
Yes.
of course you do.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
And of
yes.
course, and then
And
we
take credit
started
for all of your hard
recording.
work.
Actually, we started the podcast without actually recording.
We did a failure to launch because I pressed the record button while we were doing our sound check, and it recorded the whole sound check. And then when it came down to it, and we were ready to start, I pressed the button again, and I was like, "Oh wait, that's not. I don't see the flag."
Okay.
So then we had to start over.
Yeah, we sure did.
Okay. Well,
But we're gonna
y'all
make it
have
happen.
fun.
Thank you.
Y'all have
You
fun.
you have fun. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I heard that corner is very popular.
Well, I'm enjoying my dinner, so you girls do your thing, and I will talk to you later. Have a good time on the show.
We
Thank
will.
you,
We are
we
we are
will.
loving the new system.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
We're gonna record our singles here.
Hi, Marcus. Or
Hi.
I didn't hear you. You never said a word.
Oh my. That's because you started scolding us.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
It made me run.
Well, I have to scold those two. But, you're not a part of that process. You don't have to worry about that.
Oh.
Thank
Oh.
you.
Only
Oh.
Trina
Papa
is
Joel's got a
playing.
favorite. Okay.
I'm everyone's favorite.
I think that
Okay.
does that
What's
make me
not
the
to
middle
like?
child? Because I could really start acting out.
Mhm. Mhm.
Slash
Or
tag
like this.
hang up.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah,
Good
it's up
night.
to you to
Good
hang
night.
up.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Okay.
Okay.
Adios.
Goodbye, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
Ah. Aye.
Go back to taking selfies or whatever it is.
Just
people do.
go. We're fine.
All right. I will talk to you guys later. I guess I'm going to go 11 minutes into it. I guess I have to go to a bar now.
Yes, sir.
That sounded
Oh my
really.
He sounds so disappointed.
Oh man.
Right.
I know.
You
right?
poor dear. You poor dear.
Jesus.
Just hurry up with this. I'm out. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. How funny.
So that was Joel.
So that's the new Bluetooth
System.
phone system,
I
Delio.
like that.
Um,
Really cool.
I missed the call because I originally had it set up. It was paired to my other device that I was going to use
How many
for
devices do you
some of
have?
my sound effects. I have like a gazillion.
Because you can only carry 20
20 what?
devices. More than
Oh.
20 is illegal.
More than is it?
Yeah. You can go to jail for that.
My goodness.
That is still true
Is it
law.
in one of the states you can only have like 4 dildos? Max?
I'm not sure, but Texas is 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because one of the states it's like 5 or 4. I was like, wow, I didn't know they limited dildos.
Right?
You might hurt yourself.
How inconvenient.
Sure.
Like, what's another 20?
Like, do you technically have to like transfer ownership to them? like technically those ones aren't just and
Background
they
check.
they bust in the
Yeah.
bedroom and like those aren't mine, officer. Those 3 belong to somebody else.
True.
They just left them here.
And did the double-sided ones count as 2? Or
Ooh, good
Oh, good question. I think we need to refer to the law. Let's
Right?
get a dildo
Texas
lawyer.
Penal Code.
Right?
Penal.
Phallic code. Penal code. Phallic. I love it. Love it. Love it.
So what's on the agenda, Pinky?
So,
Yeah.
so we're doing it of course, we're doing it, around the table, at Thanksgiving, so to speak. The grown-ups had theirs, and I'm kind of glad that I never sat at the grown-up table with my family. I think I'd still prefer the kiddie table.
Me too.
Well, you're still kitty size. But other than that, I mean, I see what you're saying. Well,
Indeed. I am fun-sized.
yeah. Spinner type.
Any table that had cranberry sauce, I didn't want to be there.
Not a
Interesting.
cranberry sauce
Why?
fan. Oh, my.
Are you guys really telling me you eat cranberry sauce?
I don't like the
Occasionally.
stuff with the fresh cranberries in it, but I love the ocean spray stuff
No.
that you get out of the can. Oh, my God.
No.
Oh, my gosh.
See,
So
I don't
good.
do sweet meat, okay?
I don't do sweet meat either.
Leave the cranberry sauce over there. Don't mix it in with my turkey. Don't mix it in
Oh,
with my
no.
stuffing.
Mm-mm.
Also, you're
That
one
is
of those people that
disgusting.
don't mix.
Oh, my gosh.
Food.
Now I know why we get along so well.
Oh my God.
Like, I don't do
There's
sweet
a
and
reason.
meat.
There we go. See? Sweet and sour chicken. What is that? Ew.
Right.
Oh my God.
Like, who thought of this?
Almond crusted fish. What? Like, this is just so disgusting.
Wait a minute. Almond is not sweet.
Well, the one that I had. it
Oh,
was,
okay, then.
I was
then
gonna
It's
it's
say,
like a
not
maybe-
brown sugar almond
That
coating.
ain't no hot.
on fish.
Like candied almond salmon.
Yes.
That sounds
It's like,
yuck.
what is wrong with you people? You're barbarians.
Well, some of us are.
Which is super funny because you couldn't get further away from, like, barbaric food than, like, making fish candy. Still yuck. But, No, I can't do sweet and meat either. That's so
I
interesting.
can.
Mm-mm. Like, orange chicken is about as the only combination where that works for me, and even then, like, if it's super orange, I don't like it.
No.
Interesting. I do like it.
So, I mean, now we've acknowledged the Gen Xers, and I've got my note cards all over the place, and of course my little sketchbook and whatnot for all of that business. But, like, okay, so we acknowledge the Gen Xers, so we don't have to worry about them,
No more.
coming back at us with, forgotten me,"
True.
which is good. Gen Home Rexers.
There you go.
That's my fetch this week. Because
Oh, it
I'm going to
is?
make Gen Home Rex work, regardless of how much it doesn't work.
We're probably gonna get lost.
Are they known for wrecking people's homes?
The 4 that were on the show last week were
Oh. See, I'm remembering now.
Yeah. He's trying to give them to us.
Lord
right?
have mercy.
Look.
But
you
I'm
can't
not
wreck-
throwing any shade. I'm
You
just
can't
Well,
wreck.
you can't wreck it if
You
it's
can't
already
wreck a happy home.
wrecked.
ain't that the truth? Come
I'm
in,
just saying.
spoken like
I'm
it.
gonna hold on. Let me just designate 10 seconds to all the
Yes.
hoes
Tell us
out
what you
there
think.
and the
Tell
sideline
us what you
hoes.
think.
Can we stop blaming sideline hoes for everything? Side
Amen.
hoes,
Preach.
Side hoes would not exist if your husband didn't sleep with them. Okay?
Right, they would just be a hoe then, not a side hoe.
I'm just saying they wouldn't exist.
Amen.
Your married husband should be in your house. Okay? So if he's not there with you,
You didn't
he's
have him in the
sleeping with
first
another
place.
Bitch, it's not the other bitch's fault.
It's sure not.
True.
Okay.
It's not.
That
Can
is
we
the truth.
stop pulling weaves and pulling hair in the street and rolling on the floor and catfighting each other and blame the person who is really
Yeah,
meant to be
I don't-
blamed?
Okay,
It's
hold on.
the
why-
husband.
I
Fight
got
the
it.
husband.
I've been in a situation where I definitely agree with that on a much
level.
bigger scale, but I have when the side hoe doesn't know when to, like, when it's all come out and the side hoe decides to, like, keep interjecting themselves in the situation,
Facts.
then
Well,
you
that's-
got to snatch a bitch's
Sometimes you
earrings
gotta
out.
slap a hoe. Sometimes, yeah.
Because I had a hoe, she just liked to keep getting back into the picture,
That's
so to
different.
speak. And no, I mean,
That's
you
different.
definitely can't take a man that's already taken, for sure.
Exactly.
But
Well,
you could not be playing to somebody's weakness.
Yes, but at the end of the day, the hoe is not married, okay?
100%.
So she doesn't owe anybody anything. The married party is the one that
Yes.
promised that they would be faithful.
Definitely. I
Just
agree.
saying.
I definitely agree with
So
that.
let's stop snatching up hoes unless they keep
Right.
calling.
If when it's established that they're a side hoe,
True.
like at that point it comes out and you don't walk away.
Yeah, if they keep
like
on
get
coming
what's
back,
coming. You
That's-
know.
Just
true.
shut them down.
I can agree
Right.
with that.
It's like, 'cause you got to have a certain amount of respect for somebody's relationship. If it comes out and, like, messy and whatnot, and you just, and they're like, well,
Yeah.
he knows about it. We should probably not see each other anymore.
True.
Even though the husband.
And then the hoe comes back.
Even though the husband didn't respect the relationship.
Right, exactly. But wants to give it another try and maybe,
Counseling and all that.
That shit does not work.
it doesn't when they're a pathological liar and they're just selling the same shit to the therapist that they were trying to sell to you.
Okay.
I know that firsthand.
And then they want to fight the therapist because the therapist is telling them the truth about themselves.
Right, exactly. And the therapist starts telling them things that you've been telling them that you used to get the reaction of like, "Oh, really? Do you have a degree? Are you?" I was like, "No, I don't." Like,
You're
well, then you can't
self-reflecting,
tell
like,
me.
badly right now.
And it's hilarious because then you're sitting down on the couch, and the therapist says the same thing that you said like 4 weeks ago, and just kind of like they're burning up because they called you out and like said you didn't know what the fuck you were talking about.
Facts.
Right, it happens.
Facts.
All right, so what's in the cards, Charles?
What's on the cards? Okay, so we have to go back and kind of, I want to
Okay.
address something, a sort of a little bit that they had on the show
Okay, last
about
week.
about last week.
Oh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
they did a round of what, if anything, if they could go back 25 years, what they would tell or what advice they would give to 25-year younger themselves.
Now, keep in mind that 25 years for them would put them around our age range.
Our age, yeah, for sure.
Now, for us,
'Cause
it
25
would
years
put
ago, I
us
was
at
25,
we were
9.
9
I was
years
9.
old. I was 11, and
I was
Marcus 4.
Yeah.
So I don't think.
So
we
Marcus,
can
what
give,
would
yeah,
I
what
mean?
were you
Do you have
two
any
for?
advice for 4-year-old you?
Yeah.
Don't give away your fruit snacks. Just
Damn.
keep them. Don't trade them.
Interesting.
That's deep and
don't trade-
timeless.
Don't trade for the Chips Ahoy. You keep your Welch's Grape fruit snacks
There you go.
in your lunch pail.
Interesting.
Don't give it
Good
up.
analogy.
Don't give
love
it away.
it.
Don't give away your snack.
Now, Charles, what were you told 9-year-old
9-year-old me.
Pinky?
Shit. I've drank so much since I was 9. Not like consecutively since I was 9, y'all.
Like, keep your
Just
clothing,
like
you're still going to fit in them?
keep what now?
Keep your clothes because you're going to fit in them?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Gah, my
Wait a
wardrobe.
Wait, we're being serious.
Vintage would have come all the way back
the
around.
reason why we were at Walmart, and so he went to the
Ha,
kids
ha.
section and bought
Who
a
shops at
large.
Walmart?
We were doing grocery shopping and I didn't have a
We were.
sweatshirt for the next morning, so I went and bought a sweatshirt.
A sweatshirt.
But because I
Yes.
don't shop at Walmart, and I was at Walmart, I got a sweatshirt, but I didn't want to pay what they were charging for a men's, like, windbreaker
Plus,
was.
there wasn't any extra small.
But it doesn't exist at Walmart. They don't have extra small.
Oh,
Couldn't go
most
to the
people at
boys
Walmart
section?
are big in
I did go to the boys
bigger.
section. Ding, 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 ding.
And
We
please
have a
don't get me
winner.
wrong, I'm not trying to fat shame
I
anyone.
love it.
I'm actually overweight for those that
But
have not
what's
seen
your-
the pictures.
Not
Because I
overweight.
said that Walmart has big and bigger.
Yeah.
I don't want people to feel like I'm fat shaming.
I don't
anyone,
believe
so-
in overweight. It's called more to love.
Oh, that's right. Well,
In
I
the kids
mentioned
section, they
earlier,
call
I'm
it husky.
Husky. I'm troublicious. That's wrong. I'm gonna leave.
Generally, when somebody leads with, I'm not going to fat shame anyone, but
But true.
Shut up, fatty.
Oh,
she got me. Pow. Okay, but no, I did shop in the kids section. But I was a micro machine kind of kid. I wasn't even like, got to 5th grade like really fast and like was tall. I was just always like, itty bitty me.
because he's petite.
Until I hit puberty, and then it was like,
the beer belly came out.
he's packing.
The beer belly.
The first little bit of that. This guy.
Well, let me go back to when I was
4.
4 because I thought we were just joking.
No. We are totally joking.
Okay.
We're totally joking.
Okay.
Let's do this instead in response to that and kind of in parallel with them. Just so that
Well, keep in mind that I was 11. I wasn't necessarily that young. So the one
That's
thing that I
young.
would probably
I think
would go
that's still
back and
pretty
tell
young.
me. No, yeah.
18.
But at that age, I started noticing the things that I kind of later on figured out that that's what I wanted. That's who I am.
is that when you figured out you like choking? Being choked?
No,
Okay,
no. But
just checking.
no, not yet. That was later. I mean, years later.
Yeah,
but
that's
the
a
one
pretty
thing that-
extreme.
He was 11 and a half.
That's
yeah,
an
I was
advanced
11
move.
and a half. But, yeah. No, the one thing that I would tell myself would be, you're not going to be perfect ever, but you're going to be fabulous, so just bank on that.
Yes.
And
Bank on it,
here I
bitch.
am.
So keep your clothes.
No.
Well, I'm just saying in our summation,
Oh, okay.
summization of like the 4 to 12 or 4 to 11 age range of advice is like
True.
keep your clothes, don't give away your fruit snacks, and fucking own that shit.
Yes.
I love it.
That sounds perfect.
That sounds perfect.
I mean, that could apply to everyday life, no matter how
Right.
old
Yeah,
you are.
even today.
No matter
Don't
how old
give-
you are. I mean, other
don't
than the
give your
clothes
snacks
thing,
away.
don't give your snacks away.
No.
If somebody packs you a lunch, they did it with love,
So eat it.
so don't give those snacks away.
If the price is right, I just might. You never know. But otherwise, don't give away your snacks.
Well, there's a
Is
difference.
the
Now you're an
price ever
entrepreneur.
really right
So with that
to
said,
give away a snack
it's
that was
okay.
lovingly packed in your lunch for you?
Anyways.
Right. But okay, so that aside, all joking aside, what might we do to keep from having to go back 25 years? Like, what would you say for yourself now?
To avoid having to tell yourself in 25 years.
Maybe not avoid having to do that because you should be introspective anyway, but like
Right.
the biggest bit of advice you could give yourself to be the happiest you are from now for the next 25 years.
I would say, for me, it would be.
Don't
Love
give away your
yourself.
fruit snacks.
I totally was not talking about snacks. Only the listeners, they'll be able to rewind and really catch what I was talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't give up.
That was a little egg. I'm sorry, not an egg. What do you call
It's
Bone.
I mean Easter
You're
egg.
doing a
Called
bone.
Easter egg. There you
Easter
go.
egg. I mean it's
That's
still an
what it
egg.
was. But what I would tell myself, it would be truly just love yourself. You're not gonna make everybody happy, and that's okay. Just love yourself, move forward, do the things that you love to do, surround yourself with people that make you happy, and do the things that make you happy because life is short.
Gay men to that. What about you, Carlos?
Well, I think there's a couple of things that I would probably tell myself, but the most important is don't let your ego overrun the show. Because I can't have it. I can't let it just run.
This show?
No,
Oh,
no,
never mind.
just the show off of the live.
Oh, I love it.
So that would be one thing, and I guess the other one is just accept love,
Yes.
accept help. 'Cause I'm very.
That's a good one. That's
good
hard to
one.
do. That's
That's
is.
and people don't understand how fucking hard that is to do.
Because
It
let me
is.
tell you,
Especially
I
when
am
you're down and out.
Yeah. I'm so independent that I don't feel like I need help sometimes. And even just the smallest things, like not too long ago, Charles and I were in a photo shoot. And he said, I'll carry the bench for you. And I was just like, I don't need help. And I just grabbed the bench and kept walking.
Right, like hands full, like got
Yeah.
like a zillion different things. Like he's just came home from the grocery store and refuses to make a second trip to the car, kind of deal. I was like, I can take that bench for you, and it's just like he's used to just being a trooper and
True.
Yeah.
Packing
a lot
it
of
all
us
in.
Are prideful.
I am very prideful.
And it sounds like all three of us are. What are y'all zodiac signs, really quick? I'm a Leo. So
I'm a
we're
Libra.
known- Okay.
I'm actually a Gemini. And actually, Gemini
Wow.
and Leo
you're
get
switching sides
very well.
like a Gemini.
Well, no, Leos and Libras get along well as well.
True. I don't know about Libras and Gemini.
But I didn't know you guys were prideful like Leos.
But
I am.
but you could have one face that gets along really well with Leos, and one face that gets along with Libras.
True.
I mean, because there's the two, right? The Gemini is
Yeah,
the twins.
I have dual.
Bipolar motherfuckers.
Well, you will never know who you're talking to, but sure. I do have mood swings though.
Well, and,
That's a
and
Gemini in me.
yeah, I mean, it's less a mood swing then at that point, isn't it?
True. It's just a personality trait.
It's somebody taking over. Like the night shift just clicked on.
I think Kanye is a Gemini. That explains a lot.
Oh, and so little, all at the same time.
True.
She would love to use that as an excuse.
Probably so.
It's like, no, sir, you're a jackass. Yeah. Who just happens to be a Gemini. I feel sorry for other Geminis being lumped in that group with you.
Let me
No,
verify that.
we all have our own personalities, but
Prideful, yeah. No, I mean, that's good.
yeah, I'm prideful.
It's just
Right.
kind of like, and part of that is accepting love as well as help. I mean, you know,
True, and that's-
it's sort of
that's-
like
that's the one
being
thing that-
open and receptive to outside
yeah.
stimuli.
That's why I also mentioned, love.
Because love is a
Accept
help.
love.
Love is
Yeah, and I think that's where I'm currently working on in my life. Because I'm used to just saying, you know what, I don't have time to dwell. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna do my thing. What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? But I don't stop and acknowledge what happened, my feeling, and then I just keep going. So by me acknowledging that, I'm accepting the fact that probably I got hurt. Probably
right.
the fact that I am going to accept love once it comes again, and be okay with that. And then I'm learning about those type of things.
Right. And emotional healing is way the opposite of like healing an actual physical wound, because with a physical wound, you keep it covered and guarded, and safe
True.
and sterile. Versus with your feelings, it's best to really just let that come out and not cover it up.
True.
I mean, and that's kind of enlightening for me with everything I'm going through in general. And I'm just kind of like going through that math right now as you were saying that. I'm kind of thinking like, But yeah, I mean, because I ran my finger through the table saw a few weeks ago.
God.
So that's why it's relevant for me to make the cross-reference between an emotional healing, which I am also doing, and physical healing, and like what I'm doing to the finger. And like I'm doing the same thing to my feelings, but it's not necessarily the most healthy way for me to be treating those wounds.
Yeah.
But I also, I don't want to turn into a Tasmanian devil because I got quite a bit of shit going on. So I mean, just the right amount of outlet / inlet / need shoulder crying
Didn't we
kind of
heard
thing.
somebody say that you were a bit dramatic?
Ooh,
Yes.
I
The most
there,
dramatic
there
one
was
on the show.
no.
Who
They didn't
said
say I was the
that?
most dramatic in the show. Joel.
Oh, that's right. He didn't say you were the most dramatic.
Right. I just keep winning, and Joel keeps getting nominated. But
True.
but there's
The two nominees.
a difference between a drama queen and having flair for dramatics.
True.
Okay.
So he has flair.
I have a
for
flair for
dramatics,
dramatics.
But the drama queen.
/
is
tag
really
have drama in my
just
personal
queen.
life, but don't really appreciate any of it. I don't think you're a drama queen unless you're really kind of like feeding
True,
that
true,
fire,
true. Yeah.
like the queen of it.
Yeah.
Versus like me, I'm just trying to like rise above it and like keep sticking my heel in its eye and like trying to bury it. But anyways, it's not laundry day. It's not laundry day. I've
It's not.
aired enough of that out with the side hose and the
Yes, you sure did. I was like,
She's
can we
feeling
move
this
on?
topic. She's
the,
feeling that.
the,
Yeah, she is
the
feeling
crying couch and
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
let's move on from the
But-
feeling.
let's get out of the
He's good.
fields.
Yeah.
Let's get out of the fields. But we're gonna do that when we come back because we are
Alrighty.
due for a break.
Awesome.
So-
yes.
We're going to
We'll be right
hopefully
back.
pause this the right way.
Welcome back to 1-800 Gay Boys.
Hey, Daddy.
All right, we are back. You guys got a little commercial action there. So now I want to get into like the actual meal. We did the meet and greet and the obligatory acknowledgement of the Gen Xers so that they don't get all pouty. So let's get into the meal portion of it. And so what I wanted to do in the homework I gave everyone, not like I'm in charge or anything.
Right.
Makes me sound in charge. Was like
I'm in
what
charge.
set your family gathering apart, so to speak? What wouldn't it be your family holiday without?
Well, with mine, and I know you guys don't like this, but it would not be a Thanksgiving without arguing about politics at my family.
I love that.
It really would not.
So like no rule about that at your table.
Nope.
I love it.
There's always that ignorant fucking uncle that you want to slap in the face. He's had too many beers and too many drinks, and he wants to bring up Trump.
No,
Oh
it's
my
funny. I
God.
think that
I love
and just to kind
He's
of
got a man crush
I
on
know I
Trump.
was the
You say that and he'll shut up real quick.
I'm the one that mentioned that I don't necessarily like the politics.
Right,
type
yeah.
of
We were saying that
conversation.
before we started this evening.
Yeah, and I don't, but that doesn't mean that I'm ignorant to it, or the fact that, I do go vote. I do my civil.
Where is all of this coming
things.
from? Nobody said you didn't.
Well, but
Well, no. It
you
was
guys
more
were talking,
Me,
and
it was me
he said
saying
that he doesn't necessarily get into
get into the
if he could talk about anything but politics.
right.
Yeah.
But that episode that you did actually was quite interesting to me, especially because there was a lot of respect between you and the opposition, if you will.
Yeah.
And the fact that all of you could just talk and be civil, I thought that was awesome.
Right? Especially considering there were any Republican supporters in the crowd there.
Right.
Not that they have a history.
No,
Okay.
but at my family, it's I think what probably prepared me for that episode is, like I said, like with my family, it's always that kind of a thing. Like when we all get together, we discuss the current events, what's happening, and it's usually politics related.
Right. And
You
so
know,
is there
yeah.
like a widespread of like where everyone stacks on the left to right thing with your family?
Not really widespread, but there's just certain people
An
that
outlier?
are splintered in there that are
Yeah.
just kind of like, well, I don't believe, women should be able to have an abortion, like that kind of shit.
Right.
And so then
Coming from a male.
coming from a male, of course, who has no
Definitely not a
who has
Republican.
no capacity to be pregnant. But anyway, it's usually that kind of a thing,
Right.
Where
It's usually the ones
one
that.
person, and then
Right,
it's
right.
like 8 of them, like going at it, like, okay, so why do you think that, and where did you get that from, and da 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 da, and so
Right.
then it becomes that
Debating.
but it never gets disrespectful.
Well, that's good.
Like
Well,
you
that's
said,
good. Yeah,
you know.
that's actually I love
So.
that. I love that.
Fair enough.
We can agree to disagree, and
Right.
there's a lot of that in my family.
Well, there you go.
What about y'all's Thanksgiving table? Oh,
I'm messing with the sound effects. I'm
Right,
giddy
well,
with the sound effects.
There you go. So for me, it's a little bit of everything. Like I can't. It's not a holiday. It's not Thanksgiving without the noise, without having people outside playing sports, and then we have in the patio people dancing, and then in the living room people watching TV, and then of course the people that do the cooking. Because I've done the cooking before, like the whole thing myself from scratch. I haven't done it in a while. It's mostly my brother-in-law and my sisters that do that. So to me, it's not a holiday without everybody being just there, being themselves. We don't have one of those Christmases or Christmas. I'm sorry, Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where we are all divided. Like the kids here, the grown-ups here. It's whoever enjoys sports, they're outside and doing sports. Whoever loves dancing, we have music in the patio. Whoever wants movies, we are watching movies. So, and I'm one of those people that spends a little time everywhere.
Right?
I love that. And of course, a little bit of drama never goes, unnoticed.
drama?
Especially with, about 20 Hispanics
Right.
in one house. And some of them get a little too much to drink. And just like you said, somebody says, will say something stupid and I don't know where it goes
I love it.
out of whack. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. I live for that, and I love my family.
Yay. I think that the things that were most iconic about my Thanksgiving, because my family was humongous, and so they never could agree on like which holiday to like get together for, because they all had those other families that they were going to see as well. So there was like my family and then all of their married spouses' families and whatnot. So I think we generally all got together a little bit before Thanksgiving or in between Thanksgiving and Christmas to kind of celebrate both. But it's still that same kind of holiday feel, so it was the equivalent to that. But I think my Aunt Trina's Chex Mix,
Trina. I like that name.
Trina, Bobina, Banana,
and it
Bobina.
I don't think it ever failed that my Aunt Gina kind of was like,
Oh, is Gina or Trina?
both of them.
Oh.
Trina had the
Good
Chex.
names.
Trina had the Chex Mix. Yeah, I have 8 aunts. So there's Monica, Trina, Gina, Alicia, Sheila.
Okay, all of those names sound like some bitches you want to party with.
They're,
Let's go pick up Trina, girl.
right? And like it almost all works with like Bye, Gina. But my Aunt Gina, she's the baby of the gang, and like there was always some kind of something where she was like bridging the gap between us older kids because there's like a huge range of ages, and so we were up there in age. We were getting to that 16, 17, and there was like a good 8 of us, 8, 9, 10 of us at that age,
Right.
and in our teens and whatnot. It's just kind of like she would do something that would make all the grown-ups feel uncomfortable, but the kids kind of like, like, should we laugh at this? Because mom looks pissed. Kind of being a goofball. She's a huge goof, but I love my Aunt Gina.
I think we all have that cool aunt that would do shit that our parents would freak about. Like,
True.
here, baby, have a sip of this beer.
Definitely my
Don't tell your
Aunt
mom.
Gina. Definitely my Aunt
That's
Gina.
actually kind of a little bit like me, because if for those that I don't know if I have mentioned in the show. So my youngest sister at the time when I was born, she was already 12. My parents had me when they were 40,
Oh, wow.
and so I kind of grew up with people being my equal to a certain extent, a lot older than me.
Mm-hmm.
But yet I kind of all of my nieces, like my youngest niece, my oldest niece, I'm sorry, she's about to be 35 and I'm 38, so we're not that far apart.
Right.
And I kind of always mingle with the grown-ups and the little ones too.
Right.
So I was always in the middle.
Because there was either the really young ones or the really old ones, and so it was like,
So I'm kind of like your aunt. Is it Gina?
yeah.
Okay. So I'm the one that goes party with the kids, and then when the grown-ups can't handle the kids, I'm the messenger of
Right,
like,
exactly.
We need to stop doing that shit because
Right,
Mama's
but doing
like-
it in that cool uncle
Cool
way,
uncle
like
way, yeah.
where like you just kind of take the game outside
Yeah, and
without
when
them
it's-
realizing that you're
True. And then when it's their birthday parties, I kind of give them shots of the wazoo, and so it's
What's
fun.
the wazoo?
Oh, just kind of waterfall it.
Waterfall it. Okay. What are we?
Straight from the bottle.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Whatever.
Fair enough. The invisible liquor luge. Well, I wasn't
Yes.
sure what was in the bottle. Because you said birthday parties, and I'm thinking like 8, 9-year-olds.
No. I'm
And
talking
you're
about
just like straight
they're
from the
already-
bottle, like,
no.
woo!
They're in like
Yeah,
their
Uncle
21,
Carlos.
20 something.
That's so funny. And I think my family had as much drama, but I think I was kind of guarded from it because, like, my mom and my other aunt, one of my other aunts, they were like the black sheep. So I think when there was drama happening, I didn't notice it because they were like deliberately shielding me from the things they were saying about my mom.
Of
And any
course,
of
they
that.
didn't want
So
to
I-
insult you by
Right, or make
talking
me
about
feel
you.
like aware
Right,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So when I think there was drama, I think I just didn't know it was happening until I was older.
You
Because then I
figured-
kind of got it
Okay.
on some hand.
See, our drama is more of why is the party gonna be at her house, and why do I have to bring this and not that, and why can't I blah blah blah, and I'm not going to her party. And
I love
And
it.
that brings me to my next point, which is like, this is why I love actually going to Friendsgivings for that reason,
Oh, I
because
love Friendsgiving.
it is no drama. It is
Right.
literally
So
like,
it's just party.
yeah, because I
Relax,
mean, think
talk.
about it. You pick your friends. You don't get to pick your family. Like,
True.
if you got that stupid ass uncle that I'm telling you about, you just have them.
Yeah.
They're there.
Right,
But when
exactly.
you're going to a Friendsgiving, it's people you actually selected you want to be
Oh,
in your life
but let me
that
tell
are your
you.
friends. And it's low key, it's cocktails, it's food, it's laughing. But
It's-
with family, it's like
Right.
it's like what you guys are saying. It's like that.
It's like you ne-
12-year-old,
Yeah.
20-year-old
Exactly.
drama
No, but
comes
let me
back
tell
up,
you
know?
something.
It's-
Even though we have that drama, and of course it happens all the time, especially because I have two sisters, Laura and Patty. If you are listening, these
Are you saying
bitches
girls are dramatic?
drama queens. Lucy is my oldest sister. Lucy and I are always trying to like not pay attention to their shit, and we try to not drag ourselves into their
I love
back
it.
and
That's so funny.
forth. But at the end of the day, let me tell you, if something happens to any of us, we're all gonna be there, 100%, regardless of how much we hate each other sometimes.
Sure.
So,
Oh. Hold on. We'll get it. We'll get the sound effect here. Friendsgiving became super duper important to me.
I've never done that.
It's so great.
It's interesting.
When I
Do it this
was
year.
18, I was basically my stepmom asked me to leave home, to move out, and I only went back for one holiday after that. I only got invited for one holiday after that, and barely that. But it was such an awkward situation for me to be in. Like, I felt like they adopted a hobo for a holiday, and were like treating me like this stranger in the house, like that I grew up in, and like, really, y'all, really. So that was extra shady. So I never did that ever again, and vowed never to like be in that situation ever again.
Like a pity and
Exactly, and never, never in the friend capacity, either, because there's that sort of thing with like the rest of the family, where like, oh, you're that person, you're that kid who like doesn't have the family to go see at the holiday. So like, I dated a guy who was technically in the closet to like the mass of his family. So like his immediate family knew and whatnot, but like his mom didn't necessarily want to draw attention to it and have to deal with her brothers and sisters and mom dealing with all that. So like I got introduced as friend, and it was
crazy.
I was like, never ever again. It's like, I would rather you leave me at home. Do not bring me to your family Thanksgiving and introduce me as your friend ever again.
Yes.
Ever
Yeah,
again.
that's not cool.
But I love Friendsgiving.
Yes.
So I just started doing it on my own. The year I moved to Dallas was the first year I did a Friendsgiving. and it was marvelous. No, I lied. I think it was the year... No, Friendsgiving in Dallas was the first one I did, and then I did another one. I kept doing them after that. But it was so nice.
Yeah.
Because I was too far away from home to, like, travel back home. And so I just kind of... It was an open door thing with, like, everyone at work. It's like, you know, if you don't have family, if you're too far away from family, if you don't want to go see your family, if you'd rather just hang out with us,
Great.
you
It's
know...
like a
Yeah.
low key, no judgment. you know,
Exactly.
bring what you can, like, and we all just eat
Exactly.
and enjoy it.
And then I
That's what
still got
it's
to
about.
cook because I love to cook.
Yeah.
And so I put on like the whole spread like every year. And I think there was like a couple of years when I lived in Michigan that I wasn't doing that. There was like 4 years or so that I hadn't celebrated all the holidays. You know, I understood why the biggest drinking night of the year was the day before Thanksgiving. I just spent my holidays at the bar by myself or with the other people who, you know, didn't have family or didn't want to go see their families or whatever, for whatever reason. But when I moved to Texas, when I moved to Dallas, I started doing that, and I've loved it ever since.
Yeah. I love it.
Well, let me tell you, I don't think I've ever done, and I'm trying to think back, but I've never done the Friendsgiving type of thing, because, I mean, I have such a big family, and although we're dysfunctional, we're very close. So, and to me, honestly, I try not to do vacation during holidays or anything, because that's my time to be with family. And, I mean, I have so many people.
Yeah. And
so
different
on.
cultures like really highlight that more. You know, like
Right.
you mentioned that you were,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, I have friends that are Asian as well. They're very close knit with their family, whereas other cultures, it's not that big of a deal. Like if you skip 1 or 2 years and go somewhere else, you know. But there are some people where they're like, oh my God, like where the hell is he?
And
He
kind
didn't
of,
come.
yeah.
You know, like it's like a big deal. But like with my family, it's just a call. Hey, I'm doing a Friendsgiving this year. You know, I'll see y'all for Christmas. you
Right.
know? And so that's how it is.
So
you
we
know?
have more
And there's no
traditional
drama,
American family. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, so you get the kitty table thing. Because
Yes.
and
Like an actual
And this isn't
plastic
singling
red
out-
kitty table.
exactly
They
that
would
play
really do
school,
that.
like, you know, like the little plastic card kind of deal.
Yep.
The one that's I put on our Twitter. It's funny. I had to I couldn't find the actual table I was looking for that like we actually sat at, but I mean, and you're not the only one, Carlos, who is, you know, one of my Hispanic friends who I've asked about this, and they're like, well, we don't do the kitty table
Yeah.
at any of our holiday celebrations. We all just sit around the same table, and I've known
Yeah.
that from guys who are Hispanic that I've dated that have gone to their holiday celebrations, and this is very interesting because, like, with my family, if there's like super excess drama with one particular individual, they're like not invited,
Yeah.
and it's like with them, it's like you're coming regardless.
Yeah. And we're gonna
It's like you will show
address
your
the
face.
drama
Nobody
right
will.
there and then.
Nobody will speak to you,
Yeah.
and we will all give you shitty looks. But don't you dare not show up.
Yeah. That's outrageous.
And so it's like a roll call of like the family, like everyone's this side of the dirt kind of thing.
Yeah.
And regardless of what kind of drama you have going on with the family,
Sure. And that's actually the time to address it. It's funny, but it is. So I mean, and again, I guess it's because I am Hispanic, but that's kind of like the norm. And when it comes to like the kiddie table versus the grown-ups, it's really if we're dancing, the kids are dancing with us.
Oh my gosh, do you guys
if
do
we're
dancing at your
playing
Thanksgiving?
loteria- I'm sorry.
Do you guys do dancing at the holidays?
Oh yeah.
I love that so
That
much.
is nice.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I like that.
Actually, one day I even fell out of the porch is a little high up, and me and my niece had. Well,
Did
I
you
had-
fall into the bushes?
No.
I could see you like
I-
dancing and like. And then,
no,
like,
but let me
tipping
tell you,
back.
when I flipped over with my knees, I bounced back up. Like seriously,
Y'all didn't
like
see that.
nothing happened. I was like, I'm good. But then the next day, oh my god, my whole body
Right.
was
Oh my god, how
bang.
funny.
Yeah, but no, those are the good times, for sure.
Yay. What else, y'all? What else? Memorable Thanksgiving, like the most memorable Thanksgiving gathering happening.
Well, mine would have to be when. Well, no. Yeah, mine would have to be when my aunt cheated on my uncle.
Oh no.
Oh my god! And they caught her on the day
Well,
of.
no, like she cheated on him before Thanksgiving, but
Right.
this was the first holiday since then. So
Did-
she like cheated on him in August and then Thanksgiving.
But was it with like his brother or something?
no,
Oh, thank God.
It was with the coworker.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
Interesting.
but that got around the whole family, like, this
Oh,
bitch, this
no,
hoe,
that-
da 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 da, and
Pobrecita.
right, and they came to Thanksgiving, had the nerve to actually show up together. They showed up, and yeah, she was ostracized by all of the women. You know?
Right.
Like it was just kind of like, oh, that's a hoe. She's a bitch. Can't believe she did our brother that way. You know. my
I
uncle,
wonder
you know.
if it
And
had
was
been the
just-
other way around, how that would have like
I think it would have been
gone
different
down,
because-
like-
because the uncle was the family.
right, exactly.
He
I
married
think
her
right.
into the family. So
Exactly.
it's
So
like-
if it had been the other way around, like if she had been family, like maybe it would have gone the sympathetic angle on her part, where like, oh, he must not have been treating her right.
yeah,
You know,
who knows?
if she had
Yeah.
been the family,
yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
and she had to get it somewhere else, if they, you know,
yeah. But that
although
was
it's
probably-
family, my family always threw shade no matter what. They were pretty ruthless.
Well, no, they didn't speak to her. I mean, the only people that were speaking to her were the men.
Right. Well, that's because
So all of the women.
Because she's the
because they're like,
only one.
yeah.
Oh yeah, because there was going to be some throwing down if any of the women talked to her. So it was. Just
I
kinda
love
like,
it. Oh my God.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you know what?
But
my
the guys were all like, yeah,
yeah,
it's cool in my book. You guys are open,
Right.
but they're
as
probably.
the gays might call.
But you know, they're not going to fight a woman. You know, they're not going to.
No.
Go there, you know, but I think the consensus was like,
But I know what a dog a man is.
right.
Just you're one.
If he knows he's got an in, if he knows it's a possibility,
Yeah.
who knows?
You're gonna go for it.
I think the consensus was though, like, if my uncle forgave her and stayed with her, then
Right.
y'all should get over it too.
Exactly.
True.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what the consensus was.
But women talk.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they can.
women be talking.
Yep. Indeed. Okay, Carlos, what about you? The most memorable.
Most memorable. So there are a couple. Of course, the first time that I ever cooked the whole entire Thanksgiving meal.
They didn't like your mole.
Oh no, I didn't make one. No, actually, we do traditional. Yeah, we do traditional, and I did my cornbread from stuffing
like
from
traditional, like
traditional
Thanksgiving.
American,
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Actually,
Before they
we-
killed the Native Americans.
Yeah.
Okay, that one.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
They didn't
sure.
kill all of them.
No, there's still some alive. So
I'm sorry, they booted those out.
Right.
yeah,
Trail of Tears.
sure.
Sorry.
So yeah, we do the whole.
They must be Gen X.
Yes. So
Sorry,
we
that
do
wasn't funny. It's too soon. It's too soon.
We do the whole turkey thing
Mhm.
and ham and what else? I cheesecake and pumpkin pie and green
What is the
beans.
deal with people and eating pumpkin pie? Sweet potato is so much better.
Ugh.
Well, we do sweet potato too.
Good. Thank
We
you.
do a variety. But that was kind of an awesome day. In addition to that, you know how earlier we mentioned the fact that I've never done a Friendsgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because we're so big and we're kind of very close, we usually tend to invite people that don't do Thanksgiving with their own families. So we usually have a lot of friends in
Well,
our parties.
See, and that's why my exposure to Hispanic culture was like why that was such an impactful thing, because there's such a sympathy vote there for that person. Like, oh,
Well, but
he
you-
he
yeah.
he doesn't
Nobody
have any
else.
family.
Right. So we kind of
Like his family doesn't love him.
Sure.
Sure.
So I always hated that.
Pobrecita,
And that goes back to like we got to talking about pride
What do you
and
call yourself?
oh,
Pinche gringa?
pinche gringo. That means handsome prince.
Okay.
True. So
Let's go with that.
that's one, and then the other one that kind of, and I kind of hate to go back to my before my parents and after my parents, but
It's different.
it's different.
It's totally different.
Oh my God, the first year, and because keep in mind, my mom died in February. My mom died in July, and my dad the next February. So that year, it was the first year without any of our parents. So I kind of feel like that was the most weird.
It was like a getting to know you all over again kind of
Right,
thing
but
without
at
the
this-
glue that mom
yeah.
and dad were.
And I remember being very hard to be thankful for something, although I was thankful for many, many things. It was hard to be thankful, and even to now, we're still kind of figuring after 4 or
Especially
5
during
years.
those moments, like you're upset about it all the rest of the year, but like when you really come back to
Yeah.
it, when because everyone's family pretty much centers around and I think
figure.
is a cohesion
true. Yeah.
of those matriarch,
Yeah.
patriarch,
Yeah.
or the
Right.
couple,
And of course,
that is the oldest in the
yeah,
family.
the dynamics have changed quite a lot,
But
which is not a bad thing.
I think you see people's true colors when certain people die. Like
True.
certain shit comes out, certain attitudes come out, and it's like, oh,
Right? Oh, this is
we
how you really
did
feel
not
about
like
me.
Each other. You were just being kind because grandma was here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
And
You
then
didn't
when
want her to
grandma
bust out
died,
Let me
the
tell you,
you
yardstick.
don't hear
Yeah.
from them.
I
And
Right.
those
think
cousins you don't hear from for years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Until it's time for
Yeah,
a holiday.
I
And
think
Exactly.
it was actually
Or a wedding.
more
Or a
of
wedding.
the drama between my sisters.
Yeah.
That kind of was more hindering to everything. Because even I remember not too long ago, a couple days ago, one of my nieces was like, "Oh my God, the family is just breaking apart," and I'm like, "It's not breaking apart. It's just different." Grandma and grandpa. I was talking to her in this case, right? My mom and my dad are no longer here, so we have to acknowledge them, but at the same time, we have to be okay with the fact that things change. And it's not always the same, especially because last Christmas we had major drama, something similar to what happened, which I'm not going to out names in this case, but we had a situation like that last Christmas on Christmas Day. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So this Christmas we're making sure it's not going to be at their house. It's going to
Yeah.
be at my house.
See,
to kind
certain-
of break out the
Who
weirdness
hosts
of
it is a
of
thing.
it all.
Yeah.
Who hosts Christmas? Like, and I kind of like made a much bigger connection with who hosts Thanksgiving, having worked at the Home Depot, because like everyone wants to get their home renovations wrapped up by November.
Yeah,
All the projects done by November.
true.
It's like so they can show off
True.
because they're hosting Christmas this year. Or they're hosting Thanksgiving this year, so they're shopping for the new this and the new that, and like it's funny to like think back on things and like conversations that I heard people having, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, why is that interesting? Why is that a thing? Like, you haven't been here since
Nobody
last
does.
year? Like,
Because when I used to host, or when I host any type of holiday, usually I try to take the whole week off because I know I'm going to be mowing the lawn, I'm going to be cleaning.
but not
everything,
so that you can show it
dusting.
off. Not so that you can, because a lot of
No,
it is
I'll
like,
still fix the
Am I
house
the
to
only
where-
person that thinks like like sometimes holidays are kind of fake and superficial?
oh my god, they
because-
are.
They
Because
are.
it's kind of like, okay, if we haven't talked to each other all year, but then you're like, oh, you must need to, you need to come for Thanksgiving or you need to come for Christmas. Like, no, bitch, I haven't talked to you for 364 days, and you want me to come on the
Yeah.
one,
Right,
To meet with
exactly.
you. Like,
Right.
you
I
haven't
see
seen
that.
me, we haven't met up, you haven't taken me out for lunch, like,
And that's so
nothing.
that you can see how much better than you they think they're doing.
Exactly. And it's like,
And
it's
it's just
so
a-
fake. It's so fun.
it's a
to me
one-up.
sometimes.
That-
And
It's a-
it's like,
weird because
It's a jab to all of them and like, look how good we're doing. Yeah, we can have
but
the
it's
whole
like, I
family
get that
here.
we're family, but you could reach out throughout the year.
Right, if
You
you
don't
really
have to
gave a
wait to
shit.
the holidays to, all meet up. So that's why, like I was going back to say, like that's why I liked Friendsgiving, because I could show you my last 10 text messages are from my friends, not from my family.
Thank
so
you.
So those are people that keep up with you throughout the year. So those are the people that I want to be around.
And to that, I have to
Not-
say the same thing about the
not
side
these
chicks.
fake ass cousins that you
Exactly.
haven't spoke to all year. You know what I mean? And that's
It's funny
what I'm trying
because
to say.
I can
Definitely.
I can understand a little bit how that comes into play and whatnot, but I cannot say that I relate.
Oh no, no, no,
because-
no! I'm
Right.
not saying that you need to relate.
Right,
I'm
right.
just
No,
saying.
no, no, no.
It's an
And I'm
American
just-
thing.
Yeah, and I'm just explaining because on my end, I mean, they keep up
You
with
have
me. I keep
more
up with
interaction
them.
with your
Yeah,
family.
so
Yeah, that's
I really
good.
do. So we don't
In
have
Hispanic
that.
culture in general,
Yeah.
you guys stick together, like,
Yeah.
No matter
and,
what.
and just like, I mean, even domestically, you guys, kids live at home longer.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah. It's not this shameful thing because in America, it's like, you're 18,
yeah.
get your shit out,
Yeah.
go.
Well, right,
us,
and that's
you know?
because
Us, it's like-
that's because having kids was like no big deal, and you like want to catch back up on what you missed in your 20s
Yeah.
because you had
Right.
kids, so you're in a
And
hurry to get them back
yeah,
out of the
and in
house,
Hispanic-
and
and
you're
that-
not formulating a pack.
Right.
Yeah.
And not on every Hispanic is the same necessarily.
Oh, yeah, no.
Especially
Every
when,
culture is
when,
different.
when
Right. I
they're,
mean, it's definitely
you know,
more common though.
second, third generation Americans. But in
Right.
Mexico, I mean, you still have pretty much the fact that if
And
you're
it's
not
different for
married,
females,
if
too,
you're not
right?
married,
Like
you
they
still
stay
live at
home.
home,
Yeah.
regardless of whether you're a man
Right.
or a woman.
Okay.
Yeah. And the mom will still take care of your dinner and lunch and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
And
That
that's
was the
okay.
cutest thing. I dated a gentleman named Juan,
Oh.
and at every holiday gathering, he would make me a plate. He's like, "What do you want?" I was like, "You're gonna get my food for me?" I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Like, just don't get me any of that anymore, ever. But it was the cutest thing because it was really like, and it was because he knew that his mom was watching and he knew that his grandma was watching, and like it was him because the women get their husbands
A plate.
a plate.
So was he the woman for you?
Well, no, he was still a man,
Okay.
but like, it was just
Did he do it because you were
yes.
the guest?
I mean,
Okay.
well, no, I mean yes.
Okay.
He was the more,
I
you
got
know,
it.
effeminate
Got it.
kind of a party, but like that kind of established. It was really and it's funny because more probably in a macho capacity of like, this is not my friend. Like I want you all to know this
Yeah.
doesn't make me his wife,
Yeah.
but this does mean that you guys will respect him because he is with me.
Right,
Yes.
right.
And so less in an effeminate way and more of like an ownership way of like,
Got it. He's with me.
he's with me. He's not my friend. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care what any of you have to say or how you want to, introduce him or whatever, but you know.
And that takes
is
guts
with me.
because, yeah, something that I've had a problem in the past with other relationships is the fact that I'm not given the place that I deserve. Because my whole thing is, and I remember one day when I was engaged with this particular individual that I broke up with later, I remember walking into my sister's house and she introduced him as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I turned around and I said, he's not my friend, he's my boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, my niece was like, I love that you did that. I said,
Okay.
well, it's just that I have to give him the respect that he is part of my life.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would feel horrible if he allows people to think that he's just my friend.
Yeah.
Like, I
Right.
deserve a place in your life.
I want the title.
I want the
Right.
title.
Yes.
100%.
Like, I want you to be fucking proud that I'm your dude.
Okay.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
You're the only one tapping this. Sorry.
I mean, that's not necessarily
That's what I
100%
was
true in
thinking
all
about.
cases. But you know,
That's what I was thinking of.
she's
when he said
the
that. I
she's
want
the
the
she's the
title.
one that wears the crown. She's got the ring, so to speak. I mean, technically, you guys were
Sure.
engaged, so she did.
Yeah, I did.
Um, I mean, the only one at that gathering that was tapping it. So there's that.
Yeah.
Just for all you polyamories out there and you open relationships out there. But it's so interesting, for sure.
Everybody's dynamic is totally different.
I mean,
depending
and
on who
I
you talk
refer to it on the show all the time, like as the family machine, and like shit that I just like. I'm really thinking about the more I listen to like these podcast advice and like how to monetize and how to be successful at this and that and whatever. I was like, I really want to write a book.
Should.
You should.
You know what the
What's
title would
stopping
be?
you? Pinky swear?
No,
Pinky Pete.
Zero Fucks to Give.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, that's a smash
You
for
got
like
some competition.
everyone's, everyone's idea of what's normal, of what's this or what's that, what's proper. Exactly. As like the family machine
Hold
doesn't
on.
exist for me.
ASMR moment.
Ooh, what was that?
Did that give you full body chills?
Oh my gosh.
All you ASMRs out there.
What is an ASMR?
What? You don't know what that is?
No.
Oh God. What kind
Google
of
it.
millennial are you?
The Gen Y kind.
That's right.
Explain this
ASMR?
to him.
No, I'm not going to.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, no.
You can Google it.
Okay, so
A commercial break.
we
He's
gotta
gonna
go to
Google.
break.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get one of these queens to.
Just Google it.
I don't want to Google it.
Google it.
Google it.
Google it. Google. Now we really sound like a kid here.
We're gonna lead you out with some,
Okay.
some ASMR.
Na, 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 na.
We're back. And ASMR.
I can't hear anything.
Are we there?
Okay, now
Are you there?
I can hear you now.
Papa, can you hear me? Okay, we're good. We're getting our shit together.
Yes.
Okay,
New
so we're back.
system.
We're back. ASMR, autonomous sensory meridian response.
Yes, we talked
Yes.
Nikki.
Oh my gosh. So, I kind of knew what this was, but I didn't know what it was called. So, I mean, for all of you, when they were doing that, when they were making sounds, the only sound I could think of was like. It was like all my little game noises, like. That one gives me goosebumps. Just like, oh my god, pull his spine out of his neck. If you guys played Mortal Kombat, you understand.
Exactly.
It's a millennial thing.
It is.
Those poor Gen Xers.
I know.
Okay, so we're the third half.
Yes.
Fair enough.
If I'm not mistaken,
She
I-
will
I
not
hear-
be
I hear-
forgotten any longer.
right?
Papa is in the room, y'all.
Yes.
But that's
Bitch, can
okay.
Let us just have the day.
Adult supervision required.
Yes.
Not altogether a bad idea given this group.
Sure.
Marcus is pretty well behaved, but
The rest of
Carlos
us
and
are
I.
not.
So there were two homework assignments. One was it wouldn't be my family, Thanksgiving without, and then the other was, how did I phrase it? It was salty, sweet things we're thankful for.
Yes.
That's a mouthful.
True.
Well,
/tag mouthful being one of those on my list.
I'll start.
Yay!
Yay.
And I truly mean this out of the bottom of my heart. I am truly. Okay, so this is what I'm sweet for first and what I'm
Mhm.
salty for.
Yay!
Yay. Okay.
And I mean it. I really mean this. I am so sweet and, thankful for the Democratic Party and how they have conducted these impeachment hearings over the past 2 weeks. They have been wiping the fucking floor with these Republicans, and I'm so happy because they are exposing this president for what he truly is. He is a crook, a liar, and a con artist. And it's finally being revealed to the American people. And who I'm salty for is the entire Republican Party because all they're doing is shielding him and defending him, not talking about the substance, just saying, "Oh my God, this is not what he meant. No quid pro quo." There is quid pro quo.
Pro quo.
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 And it has been established. They can no longer deny it. And that's it.
Right?
So I am thankful for the Democratic Party. Thank you to
Amen.
everyone
It
who
is-
voted in 2018 and got us to win back the Democratic House because none of this would be happening if the Democrats didn't win the House
True.
in 2018.
There you
And
go.
It is no longer secondhand information. It came right out of
Direct
the horse's
information.
mouth today.
Came
Direct
right out of that
information.
horse mouth
Yes.
today.
Oh, and
Motherfucker kicked himself
Cheap
in
little
the
plug, Houston mayor election, the runoff is December 14th?
I thought it was 16.
It's somewhere
Somewhere
in December.
in December.
Google it. Sylvester Turner versus Tony Busby. Make
See,
sure you
and this
vote.
is me in the background, like me being Karen in the background drinking. Like, there's an election happening.
Make sure
Eating
you
carrots.
vote. All you Houstonians, get out and vote.
Go vote.
Get out
So-
and vote.
See,
That
I
was
know
my sweet
politics.
and salty.
Fair enough. I love it.
That is my sweet and salty.
Yay! Now, Pinky, tell us what was the sweetest and the sourest?
Ooh.
What was his name? I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say no. They don't do that. Mm-mm. I wouldn't know salty or sweet about it. That does not happen in Charles's mouth.
It's December 14th.
December 14th.
I would say thankful for.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. So, well, I don't think there's that many salty things that I'm like. I don't pay attention to salty shit.
Fair enough.
But
Yeah, right.
I don't. Like I don't center my life around the saltiness, especially because I'm all about positive energy and law of
get that.
attraction. So I kind of don't pay attention to any of that.
I
But
believe that.
there's a lot of stuff that I'm thankful for this year. For me, it has been so far, and it's going to continue to be a great year.
Yes, in the name of Jesus.
Yes, amen.
Gay men to that.
Amen to that. And so, the first thing is, for the first time, I did 3 galleries. So some of my pictures have been displayed in different areas, different places. It never in my wildest dreams that I thought I was going to have. First of all, that I was going to become a legit photographer, and to that, I would become and can call myself now an artist, and something that I'm enjoying
Sorry,
a
I bumped
lot.
the table, y'all.
No, that's fine. Another thing that I'm very grateful for is, family and friends. Regardless of the drama and regardless of the fact that I mentioned earlier, sometimes we kind of love to hit each other. At the end of the day, the people that have my back are my closest friends and my family. I'm grateful for this podcast as well. I mean, I never thought that I would even be a part of this, and that I have, of course, Mr. Pinky here to be thankful for about
Me too.
that.
Thank you, Miss Pinky.
And then Mr.
Aw.
Joel for accepting me.
And thank you, Joel, for accepting
And
us.
all the other bitches that are part of the show, I love them, and I love to hate them as well.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
But and I don't know, it's just been a very successful year for me, in many many ways. The health, the fact that I can get up every morning, the fact that I can bitch about stuff, the fact that I have, a 2010 car that doesn't leave me anywhere. I mean, there's so much stuff that
Yes.
I'm thankful for.
Praise God for no
Yay!
Yes,
I don't know about all that.
I know.
I'm trying to get there. No car.
Grow. The
Trying to get there.
the political thing
Yes.
he's on, but the God thing, we'll save that for another date.
What happened?
The praise Jesus.
The 2 things you don't talk about at the table: religion and politics.
I did
Oh.
Life, new hope,
I did
new
both.
joy he
But
brings.
so do I. But it sounds like you have an opposing viewpoint. I like that.
What?
Yeah.
God.
Oh, no. I don't have an opposing viewpoint.
Well, I do believe in
Well,
God,
to
though.
me, maybe
I believe
I don't
that
believe in
there's
religion.
a higher power.
because
that
I think
created
it's
us
science
all.
fiction. But
Well, no, I believe that there's a higher power that created us all, but I don't believe that it was a baby that was born out of a woman that was a virgin that never had sex, and her name is Mary. I don't believe in the story that's in the Bible. I don't believe in any of that.
oh,
I just
okay.
believe that something created us all. I don't
In
know
one-
what that being is. But
fair enough.
I don't believe
So
that
it's just
God
more
had
of like
power.
what you say.
And
It's one of those
whatever
things
you call
that
it.
you say.
I mean, many people
Like,
call
thank
it by
God.
different.
But yeah, I'm
different
not
Okay, I
talking
just
about.
wasn't sure.
I'm not talking about the white Jesus that everybody has in their home. Not that one.
Are you talking about
The Caucasian Jesus.
Latino Jesus?
No. I'm saying that's not what I'm praising.
Well, in reality,
Fair
he
enough.
was
Not
Middle
one
Eastern.
singular
I'm not
omnipotent
praising that
human
picture.
being. Right.
He was-
Got it.
He was Middle Eastern, actually, to be exact.
If anything, exactly.
If anything. But no. I get what you're saying, because I believe in the higher power, if you will. I do call it God as well. I don't believe in religion, because
Yep.
religion is
I don't
a
either.
man-made
It
shit.
is a multi-billion-dollar business.
Yes, it sure is.
As Kanye and Joel Osteen just proved this past
Thank
weekend.
you.
Once again. Anyway. Pass your collection plate.
I mean, that was smart of
Thousands of
Kanye,
dollars.
though, because, like,
Oh, yeah.
how much longer could he have made music? He wasn't making, I mean, even obviously had been doing pretty
True.
poorly selling music that he is like, oh, shit.
Well,
I gotta
now
swi-
that
I
he's
gotta
using
switch
God
avenues.
with it,
Right.
his sales went up.
Exactly.
He had the #1
True.
album because he
I
was
mean,
selling it at those Sunday services.
Where's there a better place to find, like, fanatic, like, you know, religious equivalent of your far rights?
Yep.
Well,
Buy
I
anything.
I cannot judge the people that go to Lakewood Church because a lot of them are good people.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, there's also a lot of bad people in religion, and that's all religion, not just one.
Right. I mean, any
in particular.
institution of man is not without.
Thank you.
And I don't trash
Corruption.
anybody who believes in something because some people they need that to get up in the morning. Some
Right.
people it gives them purpose, and that's fine.
And I'm against that. I'm
And
against
that's
trashing
fine.
it.
And that's
There
fine.
you go. That's
But
true.
you know.
That's what I'm against.
but the problem that
trashing.
I have is when they try to force it on you. and
Right.
you need to believe it, and you need to live your life according to what they believe. That's
Right.
what
I mean,
true.
I would call it a
And I
crutch. I mean, and people would take offense to that.
But some people.
But I mean, it is a
wakes them
crutch.
up
We
in the
all
morning.
have our crutch.
Yeah, we do.
You know, and it's not. It's say you have an actual like physical disability, and you have to use a crutch. Like, oh my,
Oh my, that's a plane.
there's an airplane landing
Yeah, I heard
on
that, like,
my.
loud and clear.
Sorry, guys, my ride just showed up.
Ding, ding, ding,
Jet.
is
I gotta
Pinky home?
go. But
It's off to Dubai.
but
He-
you know,
those are your cousins from
right.
the next planet.
Exactly. God just showed up to like verify.
Shut
He's
us
like,
up.
it's not science fiction.
I'm here.
You need to shut your dick washer.
Oh my god.
It'd be
I
great to
thought
see
you
like
say you don't do stuff like that.
he was talking to Marcus, not me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. I am a child of God.
Fair enough. We're gonna let go and let God.
Silence.
Let go and let God. No, but people take offense to it when you call it a crutch, and it's like, no, it's just like any other thing. I mean, you just feel that, you know,
Some people, it makes them feel better, and it makes them
yeah,
want to do good things.
Exactly.
Some people, they probably would not. I will say this: there are some people that have taken on religion, and it has made them
Better.
a better person.
Because
some people,
it's a supervisory like thing. Like
Yeah.
when they actually feel like somebody's watching over their shoulder,
it
they
makes them
act
wanna
right.
better. Yeah, and so I will say, for those people, it may be a great thing, and it may be a great thing for society for those people that are very dangerous. If they're like, hey, I believe in something watching me, so I'm not going to go murder and rape and steal from people anymore. Then, hey,
Yeah,
Right,
it's not
I mean-
necessarily a bad
exactly.
thing.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And we can't necessarily discard.
But there's vipers in every pin,
No,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course,
you know,
and that's
who
why
would use it to victimize and
No.
self, you know.
But tell me
interest.
which religion at a certain point in time in the history of the world has not used their religion
All of
or their
them.
beliefs to
The
murder?
religions, no.
They
the,
all do.
the
People,
individ-
people,
the
people,
people.
the individuals
People
translating
within-
ancient texts
Right, right,
Yes.
right.
They
and
have-
establishing buildings and tax ID
Correct.
numbers.
But it has
Yes.
gone around the park. If it
Are
wasn't the
bastardizing
Catholics, it's
religion.
The Muslims, and if it's not the Muslims,
Oh, yeah.
it's the Jews, and if
Jews.
not the
Everybody.
atheists, and you name it.
It's
We all
human
have been
beings
through that.
bastardizing
There you
religion.
go. That's
It's
what it
not the
is.
religion
So
because
we
they're
we
like
cannot-
communism
Yeah.
in their, you know, the concept is sound.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, people-
And in religion, it didn't say to tithe me 10% of your paychecks. That's what humans do.
Exactly.
So-
or you're a bad Christian, or you're a bad,
Exactly.
you know, whoever, because you don't
So-
give a certain part of yourself, and
Yeah.
you know.
But we definitely
So
don't
the
want to
pastors
bash
pound
people
of
that
flesh,
actually
so to
do
speak.
believe in a higher power that are doing what they're supposed to.
Right? Yeah, definitely.
Awesomeness.
Let's see here. I got like a whole page here, y'all.
Oh my god.
I know.
Okay, so let's listen to Miss.
So I have like an extra long. Thankful for
Do we need tissue paper?
Magnum. I love it. Okay, so and it kind of really centers for me. Like I don't have the family machine, so it really centers around my group of friends, which for the past pretty much year has been, you know, the guys and gals who I've done the podcast with here, and growing those relationships. So I kind of just did. I had to write it down because I'm super bad at like off the cup. The new mics, the clarity on them is fucking marvelous,
awesome.
but you
Yes.
really have to like really get your word out correctly
Right. If not,
because
it
just
will-
like quid pro quo,
Yeah, I said crow.
He said crow, girl. He said crow. Where it would have gotten lost, but it was crystal clear on here.
It was.
I was like, girl.
And I've been saying that shit all month.
Exactly.
And the time
And
that
it's
I'm
like-
recording, I say crow.
It's like, I know Marcus knows how to say quid pro quo. So there's that.
There you go.
But so I kind of went in order of like influence they've had with me and interaction they've had with me. So I'll start with Marcus. Different Marcus.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit.
Girl, you didn't make my list. You're sitting at the table. You're sitting at, nobody at the table is on the list.
Interesting.
I'll handle those after. Or I'll handle those now. But Marcus, I cannot think of like a better time. Like when I really want to unplug and like if I need some time where I know I'm gonna have like nothing but positive input and be able to like genuinely let out and not be judged whatsoever and get good feedback and get positivity back from, definitely Marcus sitting here with me at the table. I come and sit in his chair and he does my hair and I get outrageous and silly and nasty in his chair at the salon and make the
Is he
girls all
paying
laugh
at
around me.
least?
Is he what?
Is he paying that least?
Yes.
But
But you know what? With
there
him,
was that
he's
last time I
really-
ran out.
Right? No, he's really the only person, and I think everything happens for a reason. I'm very, like, guarded with who I share stuff with and who I hang out with. He's really the only client in 5 years that I've been doing hair that I hung out with outside of the salon. And I don't know why, but something just told me, like, this is a good person. This is somebody that you want to get to know. This is somebody that you want to grow something with. So go out with him, exchange numbers, go out, have fun, you know. And we did, and we had a great time, you know. And I've been meaning to have more of those times with him. But, like, I believe that all of that obviously led to this.
And
you
she
know,
has a
so-
different
Yeah.
kind of personality, I feel like, with me at the salon than when, like, even as, and this isn't any kind of, there's no negativity or, like, you're two-faced, but, like, I see a different light in you when you and I are there in the chair than even the time it takes you to switch clients and somebody else sits down in your chair and I'm bringing you back the tip. It's like he's professional, because, I mean, he works at a well-known salon, you know, where they have a certain level of, you know, their brand standards are a certain way, and their clientele is a certain way because of the type of clientele that salon attracts.
And you can't be yourself with everybody, but
Right.
But I got that feeling from you when I met
And
you. Like,
and
I
he
could be
kind of
myself.
comes out of it, and, like, I don't know, we just have a ton of fun, and I love it. I love it. It's like the best times that I have, the very few times that I've gotten to go get my hair colored. Because I'm a broke-ass bitch.
No, we got to hang out outside the salon.
We definitely do. That first night we went to Ripcord. Oh, girl.
And then we ended the night at Katz's. Good
We
time.
ended the
Oh,
night
that's
at
a good place
Katz's.
to go.
It was perfect. It was like the ideal, like, Montrose evening. We went out, we went to a few of the bars, and then we went to the after bar, you know, like, after the bar eats, I guess you could say.
Awesome.
But Carlos, you have been a superhero of mine, especially in months as of late, with everything I've got going on in my personal life, and I won't get into all that because that's a big sob story. I'm saving it for the book. But I mean, it's so nice to have somebody who gets the art thing, and you coming into your own this year as an artist, and, like, me being able to talk about those things, and, like, it's different when you're talking to other creatives
Yeah.
than when you talk to
is.
people who work a 9 to 5 or work a white collar or work a blue collar. It's totally different because, you know, being an artist you don't have a collar there, and it's
Yeah,
so much
that's
harder to sync up and, like, have somebody understand what you're saying when you're in those situations, because they're like, oh no, that's just what I do for my job. Like, of course, that's just matter of fact. And art is so abstract in the way that you commingle with it as a practice,
Right.
and it evolves and grows into all these other things. And you've found that, you know, more as you've embraced your creativity and, you know, the different things that you get to do and whatnots. So that's nice. And you've, like, super been there for me in a much deeper capacity as a friend as well. So I'm super thankful for that. Oh my gosh, my mouth is so dry.
Have some drinks.
Girl, I'm thirsty.
Some sips.
There's some ASM for you. Or ASMR? Yeah, MR. Okay, But now back to the list.
Yeah.
The Marcus, Marky Mark, Funky Bunch Mark, as we refer to him more commonly. Him, I want to just like, he is so positive and this huge shining bright light, regardless of what he's talking about. Like, I don't know how he maintains that kind of outlook on things. He's always very inspirational, always very like, and like, you know that he hasn't had it easy. I don't know very much about him, but no person really necessarily relatively has it easy.
Right.
And he just continues to just have this outlook on it, and like, I don't know, it's amazing and admirable. And what can I say about this next one? But, let's see here. I've got one here. I've got a little page here, and I think I pre-recorded something. And David White. He's next. He's next on my list. I was screwing around with the soundboard, and I recorded that yesterday. Leave David alone. I want to, I think it's awesome that David is coming into his own, and it's inspiring. Not just because she's 104, that she's coming into her own.
I thought it was 105.
Ooh.
What?
I thought she had a late birthday.
Oh.
I'm sorry, David. But and even despite the things she's got going on in her life that are like less moving as a well-oiled machine as she would like, she still has, gotten to know herself and is living, her quote-unquote best life as
Her true self.
yeah, I mean, and she's okay with that, and she seems happy and wonderful, and it's inspiring because you can still do that.
She's been letting loose a lot lately in the show, which I love.
I love it. We're seeing so much more of David.
So much fun.
And I love that. P.S. David, let's go job hunting. We can go fill out applications and have Starbucks green teas.
There you go.
Whole Foods is hiring.
Ooh.
Did a mass hiring.
Girl, you better run with
Wait.
your resume right now.
I'm not going to. But I appreciate the suggestion.
I'm just saying.
We're no, I mean, honestly, a company like Whole Foods probably is a decent gig, regardless of where you work
They
in
just
the
got
store. Yeah.
absorbed by Amazon, so you actually
Oh.
an Amazon employee. No, I ruined it for you.
I feel like it did.
Damn.
Yeah.
Still ahead of the list on, places I would want to work. It's higher up than Walmart. Sure. And this next one, the fucking biscuit, Chris.
Our boss.
Chris. You have also been one of my saviors in recent months with all of the quote unquote drama that I am the queen of in my life. It's nice to be able to genuinely disagree with somebody,
Yes.
and not have the conversation go volatile or nuclear. So I love that about Chris, and he, I don't know, he's just kind of like different. He has a very unique kind of perspective, and just brings it in a respectful. Well, I don't know if I'd say it's universally respectful, but in a way that,
Well, according to her, everybody loves her. So,
yeah. I mean, and
it's lovable.
we're glad that you grew out of that
I sure did.
kind of a frustrated phase you were in your 11s.
Yes.
But you're super fun to be around, and now he's actually started playing pool. So
that's right.
we do the pool tournament and stuff like that. So we have more in common and whatnot. So that's super fun.
Yeah.
Except if you leave me at the bar again, bitch,
Again.
we're gonna have words. Every time I go to the bar with this bitch,
Oh, you get
she gets lucky and I get left.
Oh, the bitch.
She's like,
You
"Oh, don't
even-
worry, I'll just Uber us home."
She didn't even invite you to join.
No, Thank God.
What a selfish-
Well, no, he's not into skinny bitches. Well, quote unquote.
Chris has a type. It's less of a physical type. Chris has an entirely different spectrum of men that he enjoys the company of.
Okay.
Chris, you'll know. You know, Chris. You know.
Yeah, he's
You know
an
that
equal
spectrum.
Opportunist unless
Um,
it's dating.
And Mr. Joel. What can we say about Papa Joel? I love this bitch. She has a voice for radio. And I'm really glad that they responded to my response. Because I really didn't see very much coming from it when I got hit up on Growler to like be on a podcast. And I was like, it was a goal of mine in these years because I was actually gaming up to like want to be on YouTube doing my making and my carpentry and stuff like that. And so I kind of forced myself into putting myself out there for...
I thought you were out since you were little.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely out.
Different type of outing.
Yeah, less ass out and more
Oh, yeah.
more
Personality.
chin out.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking respond to it. And if nothing comes of it, what did I lose? So I came and I did the 50th episode of the show under its previous banner. And I've been doing them ever since. And Joel is, he's right there. He's given me the platform to do this and has put a lot of trust in me with the show and kind of let me do my thing and has trusted my judgment in most of that. And I concede that he is absolutely a drama queen. He takes the cake on that. I could not compare. I can't hold a stick to the drama queen that Joel is. I just wanted to illustrate that difference. Because while she is,
You did a good job.
she is the drama queen, I just have a flair for dramatics.
True.
Yeah.
A lot.
So there's that. I mean, and those are kind of my and mumbles. There's mumbles. So I'm thankful for that as well. My brother listens to the podcast, so I'm super.
Hey, brother.
Hey, Pinky's
I'm,
brother.
I'm super thankful for that.
What's his name?
John.
Purple? Oh.
John
sorry.
Raymond. Do you say purple?
Yes, purple.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh, or he's orange. No?
Ooh, I think
Brown?
if he had to pick, he'd probably say purple.
Purple.
He'd be purpley.
Hey,
Purpley.
purple.
There you go.
Purple.
Magenta-y. Oh, but
That's such a-
magenta is trademarked, isn't it?
I think so. What's his name again?
John?
Hey,
John Raymond.
Hey, John Raymond. How are you?
Hey, John.
Greetings from Houston, little bro. He's actually my gay brother.
Oh.
The gay runs in the family.
Yes. Does he like... My number is... No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I brought him to Houston and we did JRs. I didn't bring him to Houston. He was in Houston visiting my aunt. Because I figured somebody was getting married.
Trina.
This was Monica.
Trina,
Damn it.
Bobina? Oh,
This is Monica.
I want to meet Trina.
there you go.
She sounds like somebody I want to meet.
Ooh, I don't know. I'd have to think about which aunt that is. It's been so long. But no, I mean, he listens to the show regularly, and so there's that.
We should call him one of these days.
That's a super good idea now that we can. Yay. But I told him he has a standing invitation anytime he's in Houston on a Wednesday to definitely.
Just give him the 411 on how we act.
Oh, he listens to the show.
No. Oh, true.
So he knows all about it. And I find it very flattering that he's like, that I'm going to be on your podcast. I was like, oh my God. You like me. You really like me. Kind of all Goldie Hawn and weepy. It was Goldie Hawn, right?
I don't know.
I'm not that old.
Lord, neither am I.
Look, if I don't know,
But-
I don't know where you get that from.
Right. Well,
Because I'm older
it
than
was
you are.
it was an Academy Award speech. I think it was Goldie, but who knows? Less important. And I'm thankful for all of that. I mean, definitely all of it there's very little that I, like, I'm at in a point like where I feel like I would give 25 years down the road, because I actually didn't go there like you guys did.
Oh, that's right.
But
So
I
what
think
would you tell yourself today to not have to remind yourself in 25 years?
What would you tell? You said you were 9, right?
yeah,
What would you tell 9-year-old?
9-year-old Charles. I would tell 9-year-old Charles to not stop drawing, not stop imagining. The academia is not as important as they make it seem. Because when I gave up, probably a little bit earlier than that, I gave up drawing and kind of had given up on arts in general until I got back into high school and they started having more eclectic, what do you call them, electives. And so I got back into, via photography, and it was a really long way back around because I've only gotten back into my drawing recently, as far as like scope of life.
And you're back in photography. That's a good thing.
I'm actually actively, a photographer again. No love ever lost for that. But that I have to thank Mr. Brothers for. But I think that kind of like, that sums it up. I think
I
I
like
think
your list.
that's the fork in it.
Yeah, there you go.
I think so.
We are some thankful bitches.
We are some
Yes.
thankful bitches.
True. And
Oh, was that a
what was
whip?
that?
It was a whip.
Oh, shit.
Oh, can you whip me again?
You want some more?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Right, and then we get to like this one where we're like, oh my gosh.
I used to
love
play
it, love it, love
DC
it.
versus Marvel, and I would live for that part where you'd be like,
Right?
Catwoman wins.
Oh my god. I love it.
Fatality.
That's
You
really
need to
good. That
record
sounds
him.
that sounds really good actually. Like
You actually just do some recordings with him.
okay. So on that note,
Are we up to the 30 minutes?
I think we're ready for the fork.
Wow.
I think we stick a fork in it. We're done.
Okay.
Watch it where you stick it.
And we're
Yeah.
gonna lick it before you stick it.
Make sure it's clean.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, where you're sticking it or the fork you're sticking?
Oh, depending.
Depends.
Depends.
So we've now gone full circle. That's
Sure
the
have.
we're the Huggy Bunch signing off.
Yes.
And I actually gave this episode a name, and it was another mouthful. It's on the back of one of these cards here, and it's actually truer to the name than I had originally intended. Which one is it? Oh, all my cards are gone. They're
Oh,
gone.
you have right there.
I know, but the one with the title of the show it's gone. It's missing.
Those are the three main ones, though.
I know, but the,
Those are the ones that we were talking
title
about
card is
yesterday.
gone.
Oh.
It was Pinky's 3-part holiday play school persiflage.
Oh, there you go. That's right. Persiflage.
Persiflage. Alrighty, y'all. So let's do a round of where, if anywhere, you want people to be able to find you in our
Definitely.
social media sign off. Let's start with Marcus.
Well, you can find me on Twitter. My name is Progressive Millennial on Twitter currently,
Interesting.
but I change it often. So
He does.
my
I was like,
handle is
Yeah, of course.
actually Student of Life 08. That is my actual handle.
which I
for
love
Twitter.
so much.
Student of Life 08. So follow me on Twitter. I post a lot of political shit.
I was
So
gonna say if you're a
not-
politics fan and you want somebody to go rounds with, Marcus is your guy for sure.
So follow me to stay up to date on all of this shit because we gotta impeach the orange motherfucker.
Yes. Oh, and don't forget,
Boom,
he's tall and
loom,
handsome.
Buddy, do.
Yes.
Stop that.
All right.
And a little limp in the wrist.
Okay, so I
Bro,
have
I'm
this-
all man.
I love it.
So I have pretty much have everywhere in social media, of course. So Twitter, my personal Twitter and my personal Instagram is the same, which is CVILLE20035. Now, my business Instagram is CV Photography 0. And on Facebook, you can just find me by my first and last name, which is Carlos Villegas. And of course, you can send me some DMs. I'm all for it. Send whatever you want.
NSFWs,
Yes.
always welcome.
Make
Always
sure you
welcome.
shave.
No, please.
Oh,
I don't shave.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it wild and natural.
Come on.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Come on, Bears.
Hey, daddy.
There you have it, you Gen Xers. You got
Oh,
a little plump Hispanic with daddy issues. Yeah,
come
right.
on, dude. I need you to be on it.
I've got a lot going on.
I'm like I had to do it with. Come on.
So, answer the call there, y'all. And I will say that you can find our show pretty much anywhere and everywhere that you search that Lil
Lil,
Lil
L-I-L.
Like Lil Kim.
like
Lil
Lil
Kim.
like Lil Kim.
Like Lil John. Lil
No.
Bow Wow.
No, no, nope.
Lil Kim.
Just like Lil Kim, yes. Lil Bow Wow, no.
Lil John.
No,
No, Lil John.
no Lil Jon. That Lil Gay Talk Show. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
iHeartRadio. Or no, that's still.
Unfortunately, we're
Unfortunately.
still working with catching up the iHeartRadio. They're a little
Spreaker,
behind.
but on Spreaker, we are.
Spreaker,
still-
iTunes, anywhere else that you listen to your podcasts.
Oh, but don't forget, in actual Twitter, it's not that Little Gay Talk Show. It's actually Pinky, Joel-
at Pinky
at
and
Pinky
Joel. But I think you can still find us
Oh, really?
by searching that Little Gay Talk
Okay,
Show.
I have no-
Maybe.
Also, leave a review on what you think about the show.
Yeah,
especially on
definitely.
Apple Podcasts, where you can
Yeah, if
actually
you
leave
have
a
any
review.
suggestions.
Write what you think about the show and the characters and all
What
of
you
that.
want to hear
What you wanna
more
hear.
of, less of, unless you talk about the side conversations.
Oh,
Because
and if you want
girl,
us to give
that's
us a
gonna
call,
happen.
we'll fucking call you and talk to you.
the show will
now we can.
soon be having its own phone number.
Yes.
We're working on that. We're working on a Tumblr. We're working on a Pinterest. We're working on the Patreon is still in the works, y'all. So look out for it all.
Maybe one day we'll do video.
We are definitely gonna make a sex tape.
Oh, yes.
Definitely. Oh, do we have Reddit? Ooh, we're on Reddit now.
Shit. Official.
We are fucking official.
Yes.
Bitches. Did I say bitches instead of
You bitches have made it.
bitches? Yeah.
We haven't yet, but hopefully with everyone out there's
Yeah.
help, we are on the way.
Yeah. And if you want to talk to us, just DM us.
DM
DM Carlos.
us. DM us. Us. I mean, DM Carlos if you want to talk to Carlos.
Yeah.
Definitely. Or Marcus if you want to talk to Marcus.
Buenas noches. Gracias por estar aquí y escucharnos. Muchos besitos.
Bye, papi.
If you're not going to be good at it. Deuces.